Which one is the best value fitness tracker of 2022? The mighty Xiaomi SMart Band 7 or the recently upgraded Huawei Band 7? Here we go, comparing 7 top features of these two awesome wearables. Let's inspect. So, welcome here, really nice to meet you, I'm Michael, and yes, this is one of the most requested episodes of this year, comparing two of the most popular fitness trackers of 2022. And being surrounded by so many ads and claims, I think the best way to know about the real state of technology is to thoroughly inspect all the features of the devices that we are about to buy. Therefore, I've had each one of these smart bands on my wrist for at least a few weeks, and I can tell you that they clearly are among the best around $50 fitness trackers that you can buy right now in 2022. But which one is the better one? Let's begin with the design and the build quality. Both trackers are plastic made and both of them have tempered glass on the screen. You can well notice that Huawei Band 7 looks more like a smartwatch in that regard. Bigger display with arguably better visibility. Here we have a choice between these two major design concepts, rounded screen versus a square-shaped one. On one side, entirely display-oriented navigation versus the option to use a physical button. Since materials are quite similar, so are the water-resistant ratings, I would go the subjective way. In my opinion, and although I dislike the idea of this strap buttoning, which is also shared by many other people and is not safe enough, Xiaomi Band 7 is less prone to scratching because the strap covers the sides. Also, feels better to the touch, the strap is antibacterial, and generally it looks more like a fitness tracker. So we have a winner here. Let's see what the next combat is going to bring, the displays. Wow, choosing a winner here is gonna be really challenging. Confirmed by the specs, Mi Band 7 has now a larger display, being 1.62 inches. It also has more pixels, meaning that more details can be shown. While last year's Huawei display seemed to be a little better, Xiaomi have made a big step forward, also upgrading the maximum brightness, which is now in favor of Mi Band 7, 500 versus 450 nits. A big miss for both fitness trackers is, in my opinion, the lack of ambient light sensor. The purpose of such a sensor is to automatically tweak the brightness of the display, meaning you go outdoors and the display goes brighter. So neither of those support ambient light sensor. But thanks to its better scrolling, overall slightly larger display, even though it doesn't have this favorite physical button, this round goes to the Xiaomi SMart Band 7. The next area of comparison would be about the battery life, and we want to figure out how many days each one of these fitness trackers is going to last per single charge. And here the rule is pretty simple. The more features you want to track, like sleep tracking, blood oxygen saturation, heart rate, etc., the sooner the battery is going to go empty and you would have to recharge. But the good news is that both of them are now so advanced and so battery savvy that you would rarely have to recharge any of those. Both of these require a pogo pin magnet-based charging, and both of them keep the same standard as last year's models. For assessing the battery endurance per charge, I usually enable all the auto-tracked features with these bands when testing them. Of course, results often vary, whether you spend a lot of time outdoors or not, and how long the display timeout is being set. Do you track exercises? Is it summer or winter? Because this often defines the display brightness setting, or firmware. These are some of the key contributors to good or bad battery life. Statistically, Huawei Band 7 was usually giving me a day or day and a half more than the Xiaomi SMart Band 7, therefore might be a close call, but that is a win for the Huawei-made device. Next, let's focus on the feature set, and the great news is that now in 2022, look, this almost feels as a smartwatch, scrolling features, the amount of apps. You would find similar features and similar apps in many smartwatches in the price niche between $100 and $200. There are certain differences though, and generally the differences between these two are pretty minor. Scrolling feels great on both. Amount of the apps kind of varies. Now, the most useful feature of Huawei Band 7 is, in my opinion, the physical side button. I very much dislike the absence of any kind of button with the latest Xiaomi Smart Bands. Swiping feels good on both, and both of them can automatically track workouts. They support continuous heart rate tracking, sleep cycles, even if these are daytime naps. Menstrual cycle tracking for the ladies is present too. For workouts, Huawei Band 7 can currently track 96, while Xiaomi Smart Band 7 can track more than 110. I was closely checking the accuracy of all the sensors, and usually the most common questions are whether they can track HR and steps in a good way. And I can say yes, both of the fitness trackers can do that. For around 1,000 steps tracked with these two trackers side by side, the difference is between 5 and 10 steps, so that's a really minor difference. But the roundabout features goes to the Xiaomi Smart Band 7 because of the fact you can install some extra apps, but also because we're expecting a variation of this tracker with NFC support, therefore contactless payment support. Next, we should move on to the smartphone apps. Believe it or not, this is going to turn out to be an easy win. Let's start with Huawei. We still use an app called Huawei Health, which, since a number of years, is not being updated in Google Play Store. So here's the first challenge for Android users. You need to download the app from Huawei's website or from the app gallery. Also, you're gonna need Huawei framework services, so the installation on Android smartphones is a bit tricky. For iOS users, I've also noticed a number of complaints because there are a lot of functions which are limited. In terms of information and configuration options, you are going to notice a lot of similarities with both apps. Good-looking areas about summarizing the collected health data, workout customizations, band customizations. Mi Fitness, which is the one used with Xiaomi Smart Band 7, feels a little lighter, has a huge amount of watch faces to offer, and maybe slightly more customizations. Also, supports sharing data with one of the most popular fitness tracking apps, Strava. Therefore, in this round, I think it's a well-deserved win for Mi Band. How about accessories? Well, if you wonder what I'm talking about, there are multiple kind of straps and other protectors that you can buy. If you need to give your device a fresher look and feel, you can find hundreds of these for Xiaomi Smart Band 7. It's the first thing I would anyways do with my Mi Band, because just look at this movement. I do this. The strap is unbuttoned, and if I'm somewhere outdoors without paying attention to what happens around my wrist, I can easily lose it, and I was very close to losing it a few times already. The good news is that despite the fact it's slightly bigger, most of the straps, which are compatible with generations 4, 5 and 6, are gonna fit well with the Xiaomi Smart Band 7 as well, with certain exceptions. As for the Huawei Mate contender, there are somewhat less options. Not as easy strap replacement, although I like the design better, especially the buckle. And here, a screen protector might be even more important due to the wider display surface. But if we compare variety and quantities, that's another round for the latest Mi Bands. Before we wrap it up, here's the last chance for any of these devices to score a point. Pricing. It is extremely competitive. Both of these bands are very accessible, between $40 and $60 depending on the store, country and promotion period. Officially in Europe, Xiaomi Smart Band 7 costs now €49, while Huawei Band 7 is $59. Guess this makes it clear enough who's gonna be the winner in this round. If you have been watching the episode really carefully, you've probably done the maths already, and you know that the winner is the Xiaomi Smart Band 7. But hang on for a moment, because I always say that it really matters which are the important features to you. And the differences between these two fitness trackers in 22 are so minor that each one of them can do the job right, and maybe you should be more creative and figure out whether, well, if you use a Huawei smartphone, then this makes perfect sense. If you use a Xiaomi, Redmi, Poco phone, the Xiaomi Smart Band 7 unlocks certain features, so that could be the better choice to you. Sit down and make a list and figure out which is the better fitness tracker. Like, for instance, a physical button is a must-have to me, so I probably, despite the result, would favor this thing. Although, the the Xiaomi Smart Band 7 seems to be the king. I don't know. Let's comment down below. Let me know what your opinion is. And of course, if you happen to find other interesting areas of comparison, do mention them as a comment. As usual, link to the products, a bit more information how you can support the channel is placed in the video description. Thank you very much for watching this comparison. Hopefully useful. I'm Michael and look forward to seeing you in our next episode. Bye!